Hi, I'm Brad Sugars and welcome to the Business Basics. Today we're going to be discussing the human behavioural styles of the DISC profiling system. Now, why is a profiling system important? Well, let's look at it from several perspectives. What if you're a team builder? You're the leader of a team, you're building your company. Does it help to know the behavioural styles of your people? Absolutely. It helps to know when you're employing people. It helps to know when you're giving them jobs. It helps to know when you're leading them, communicating with them. What about in sales? Does it help to know buying styles, behavioural styles of your customers, behavioural styles of your potential customers? How do they purchase? How do they make a purchasing decision? Well, let's look at the four basic fundamental styles of the DISC profiling system so that we can get a bit of an idea as to how this works in different areas. Now, D, I, S and C, what do they stand for? Well, D stands for dominance. These are the high D, high dominant people. By the way, we all have all four profiles within us. The question is, which one is your majority profile? You may have two that are majority. If you ever want to do this profiling system, please just chat to one of my coaches and they'll be all too happy to walk you through and get your profile for you and the employees in your company. The I stands for influencer. These are the people-oriented people. S, that's for the stability-oriented people. These are the real stable people. And the C is for the more compliance-oriented people. Let's go through them one by explaining them. And, well, in fact, let's go through the graph first. If you take a look at this graph here, what you'll see is a very simple thing. Our D's and C's are what we call our task-oriented people. So D's and C's have got a task orientation. Then we go over to the other side, our high I's and our high S's, they're the people-oriented people. So these are the more the more people-oriented, friendly type people. At the top of our graph here we have outgoing, and at the bottom we have reserved. So our D's and I's are more our outgoing people, and our S's and C's are more our reserved. So if we came across someone who was people-oriented and outgoing, we know their general tendency is to be a high I. If, however, we found someone who was more reserved and very task-oriented, we know they're the compliance Cs. So how does this picture? Well, let's go through them one by one. A high D, the dominant person, wanting to be number one, wanting to be the leader, wanting to be the centre of attention. This is the person that starts a lot of projects and finishes very few. They subscribe to every magazine and read very few. They've bought all the books, they've only read the first chapter. They start projects at home, they're the home handyman who starts everything and makes a mess of it and then leaves it for someone else to clean up. These are the dominant people. If they're going to learn how to swim, they go and jump in the pool right in the deep end off the diving board. These are the people, when you go to their desk, there's a million projects sitting on their desk. Their in tray is full, their out tray is not very full. They're the great leaders, though. These are the people that are the initiators. They're visionaries. These are the people that get things started in companies. They are great salespeople. They're what I call the hunter salespeople. They're always out hunting for new business. Great asset to have in a company. Too many of them, and the company will be in big trouble. But if we look at it and said, okay, a high D wanted to organise a moving office on the weekend, you know what they'd do? They'd all get someone else to organise it for them and say, hey, call the movers, get something done, we're going to move on the weekend. They'd turn up, they'd move two things, and then they'd organise everybody else doing all of the moving for them. The high I's. Let's take a look at the high I's. These are our people-oriented people. They're outgoing, but they're more people-oriented. They've got lots of friends. If they were to go and learn swimming, they would go and take a class with all of their friends. They would probably go shopping beforehand to buy the latest bathing suit. You go to their desk, there's pictures of all of their friends all over their desk. When these people go and buy things, they want to buy from somebody they like. The high D just wants the bottom line. They want to walk in, make the purchase and get out. The high I wants to chat to you for a while. They want to become your friend and then they'll buy from you if they like you. The high D will buy if it's the latest, greatest, newest, best thing. They'll buy if they like the thing, not if they like the person. So there's different styles of behaviour. The high I is a wonderful salesperson as well, but they're more a farmer salesperson. They take their time. They'll nurture the sale through. They're a very great asset to have in the HR department of a company. A great asset to have that, they do customer service really, really well because they're people-oriented, but they're still outgoing. Let's rotate down to the high S, the stable person. They like buying stuff that's the same one they had last time. They like warranties, they like guarantees, they like traditional, they like to buy from the same company they bought from last time. You know, these are the people that if they wanted to learn swimming, they would probably go out and take classes, but, you know, go gradual, steady as she goes, very slowly. They're still people-oriented, but these are the people that, in fact, in companies, they are the best workers. The high S's are the people that can do the same job over and over and over again, day in, day out, week in, week out, and love doing that. To a high D, that's a crazy way to do it. They love new, and everything's got to be new and different and start something fresh. To a high S, that new and different and start something fresh is crazy approach. They're not as outgoing as a high I. They don't want to be out there in the front of everybody. See, the high I is easily offended. They're the sort of person who if you say, I don't like you, they get very upset. The high D, well, you can't really offend a high D. In fact, the high D likes offending everybody else. They don't even notice they do it. They're that task-oriented. They're not even people-oriented. The high S, these are the ones they won't offend anybody. They like being nice to everybody. Now, if you offend them the first time, they won't say anything. The second time, won't say anything. Eventually, though, the high S will explode, and you'll think, what happened? Mary was so quiet for so long, and now she's killing everybody. You know, it's that type of person that's very stable for a long time, but when they explode, better get out of the way. Now, the high C, these are the people that go shopping with a list. These are the people that will ask you 4 million questions. They want to know every single detail. They've been on the internet and printed out every single page of your website before they came to buy what it is they're buying. The high C is the most compliant person. They're the detail-oriented. If you go to their desk, everything is in place. If you borrow one of their pens and didn't put it back in place, you're in big trouble. They're great at accounting. They're great at getting the detail work done in a company. They're great engineers. They're great at doing architecture. You know, that high C traits are very, very powerful in an organisation. But if they were to learn how to swim, they'd read a book first. They'd watch 4 videos on it first. They'd make notes. They'd go and do it. They'd see 4 websites on how to swim. You know, if they were organising the office moving on the weekend, unlike the high D who'd get someone else and get movers in, they would plan it meticulously to make sure it was done perfectly. The high I, they'd just have a party whilst moving the office. The high S, well, they'd be the ones actually doing the moving. They'd do the work that someone else had asked them to do. These are the different behavioural styles. It's great to know them, and you should learn a lot more about them if you go and learn about them because you want to learn how to employ better people. You want to learn how to motivate your people better, get better workloads out of the people that work with you. Or if you want to learn it from a sales perspective, please get with an action coach and make sure you spend a lot more time learning how to apply D, I, S and C behavioural styles to your business. I'm Brad Sugars, and these are the Business Basics.